Hello everyone. I'm sure all of you had a really frantic month and a half of e-learning with your students. Well, without forgetting, let me tell you all that all of you have done a great job in this past 1.5 month. But now it is time to move a step ahead and we will upgrade ourselves from e-learning to digital classroom. Now for digital classroom, we'll be using Google Suite. I'm sure many of you are already known to this application. So here I'll be doing a small video tutorial for all of you because there are certain things which I need to explain over here as Google Suite is synchronized with our EPS website. So there are a lot of changes which has happened down this 1.5 months. We have upgraded certain things so that you can be like better synced with the EPS and the online or a digital learning platform. The first thing what we have done is your timetable. Each and every teacher's timetable has been uploaded on the EPS website. So I will start from there. Now, how to get your timetable? So first and foremost thing, we will be going on to the EPS website where all of you are aware of this particular process. What I need to show you is where is the timetable and how do you get it. I'll be using my username and a password. So once we log into the EPS website, put the username and a password, and once you log in, on the left hand side menu, you have been using academic over the period of time now, so I'm sure you know about that. So click on academic, and the last link what you see over here is the timetable. All of you will have this particular link in your login, head of the department as well as the teacher. So once you click on this is your timetable. Now this is my timetable. You will be having your timetable where the days are mentioned over here, Sunday to Thursday, and the number of periods. So we start from 9:30 to 10:10, and there is a 10 minutes of break, and then 10:20 to 11, and there is a break of 30 minutes after that. Then we start from 11:30 to 12:10 and so on. Now everybody will have a different timetable. Now the thing comes, how am I going to synchronize this particular thing with my Google Suite? Now regarding Google Suite, you should be checking your emails because we'll be sending your username and a password and the instructions. So that is must. You should be reading it very carefully. Now this is one part. Now how do I go to my Google Classroom? So coming back over here, you can see there has been a link added to it which says Google Classroom. Now once you click on this Google Classroom, it will take you to the page of a Google. Now if you have a look over here, it says account.google.com. Now you'll be using your username and a password to log into the Google account, and as I said, you should be looking basically into your email, that is the EPS portal email. We'll be sending you your username and a password through the email. So I'm using here my email and the password. Now once you log in over here, your account is pre-activated, so basically you don't need to do anything. As if you see, this is my login and these are the classes which I teach. So my classes are assigned already as a teacher or a head of the department. In each classes the students are also assigned. So if I'm going in this particular class, now if you see over here in this particular class there are 4 separate sections: stream, classwork, people and the marks. Let's start with a stream. Basically what you do in a stream. Now here as it says, a stream is share something with your class. Now I'll just delete this one, it was an example. So now if you have to share some information with your class, let's say for example you are going to have a quiz, or you are sending an assessment, or you are sending a worksheet, anything you have to tell to your class. So I click over here and it says for whom. This announcement is for whom. I can select grade 10A because I'm logged into 10A, or rather I'm in the class 10A. Or if you want the same thing to be shown to other students also, so then you can go and select which other classes should have this. Otherwise, only for the class you are in. So now let's say for 10A, I have an option. Do I need to send it to all the students of 10A or some? Now, if it is all student, well, it will go to all the students in that particular class. If it is for some, then check over here and check it off. And randomly you go and select the students who is supposed to get this information. Now, once I am selecting this, you see there are only 5 students selected in grade 10A who will be receiving this particular announcement, and you can type whatever announcement it is and you can post it. Along with that announcement, if you need to, suppose I have to say something to my student, let's say now I want them to solve IGCSE 2019 past paper, and paper number is 22. Now from where they will get this paper, I don't know. So what I'm saying is I am going to attach a file on a Google Drive or a link or a file or from the YouTube. Now normally for me it will be a PDF file, so I can put the file on my Google Drive and I can attach the file from there. So these are the attachment options you have. Or if you want to send a video link also, you can open YouTube, copy the link from there and you can add it over here. Now once I post it, it will be posted only to those 5 students of grade 10A. Now there are certain options which are there. If you can click over here, you want to edit it, you can edit it, delete it, or copy link. The purpose of a copy link is in case if you need to send this link to somebody on a WhatsApp or whatsoever, then you can just copy the link. I'll open Notepad and show you, and I'm going to paste this link over here. Now you can copy and paste this link on an SMS, email, WhatsApp, whatever it is, but remember one thing, the person cannot get activation of this link unless until they have the authorization in terms of username and a password. So if they don't have a username and a password, Google will not allow them to enter in this particular classroom of grade 10A. Fine. Fine. This is one part of a stream. So the purpose of a stream is to announce something. I'll delete this post from here for the time being. Now moving on to the second part is the classwork. Now once you come onto the classwork, you see there is something called as a create, and it has certain options. We will come to these options down the line, because as of now we need to see how to start, and then we can assign the assignments or the quiz works, all these things. So now if you see over here, there is something what we call as a meet. Now this is the main thing we are focusing on as of now. Digital classroom in the sense you will be seeing the person and the person will be seeing you live. It is what we call as a AVI, audio visual interface. To do that, what we do is to meet. First we need to set up a classroom. So I can go and click on set up a class. Now I have already set this class, so let me go and select something else. So I'm going in, let's say 11B. Now I need to set up a class for 11B. So I go to the classroom. This you have to do it for all your classes. This is a one-time job, but you have to do it for all the classes. So for example, if I have 1 2 3 3 6 and 3 9 classes, I have to set up meet for 9 times individually for all the class. So let's say I'm going for 11B in the classroom. I have to create a meet. Now apart from these 4 icons over here, there is something over here called as a settings. Once you click on the setting, you will come to a class detail. Now class details, class name is already given over here. Description if you want to write something, section is optional, room is optional, subject, all these things are optional, but if you want to write, I'll put it over here, ICT rooms. Let's say I say this is the boys room, or it can be a girls room, whatever it is. So you can create a room, or if you want to color code them, do it color coding, whatever it is. Now this is the class detail. Once you set this up, we come to the general part of it. The first and foremost thing, it is a class code. For every meet there will be a class code. Now this is the security what we are talking about. Now you have an option to disable this security, up to you if you want it, but I prefer leave it as it is. So I click over here, and if you see display, copy, again once you copy it you can send it to somebody on WhatsApp or something, but as I said, the person can join only if the person has the username and a password from the domain of EPS on Google. Reset, it will just change and give you a new one. That's all it does. And disable, if you don't want to have it, remove it, but as I said, this is a security, so it's better to keep it. So I keep it as a display. Now moving on to a stream. Stream has certain options. If I click over here, you can see there are three options given over here. The first is students can post and comment. So that means a student can create a new thread for a post. They can start a discussion, and then people can continue on that discussion, commenting and all these things. If you want to have certain forums like this, which becomes your responsibility to see what is being posted. Now this classroom is your classroom, so the person's responsibility is yours. Nobody else will take care of this. And remember one thing, whatever comes over here is synced with the EPS website, so even if you delete from here, it remains on the EPS server. We have not given that right to delete from the server. So now student can post and comment. Student can only comment. So now if you as a teacher, you have created a post, student can read that post and comment on it, write their opinion, whatsoever they want to do it, they can write on it, but they cannot start a new post or a discussion. Third option remains over here, only teacher can post or comment. Now that doesn't make much sense for me, because if you can only post and you can only comment, then how will the student communicate with you? So I think I should be going with the second option, where I can say student can only comment. So the post what I have created, if they have any question on that, any comment on that, any confusion on that, they can post it and I can reply back to them. Classwork on the stream. Show condensed notification. Now these are all the way the page looks. Show attachment and detail, show condensed notification, or hide notification, whichever you want to select. Now show the deleted item. In case if you have deleted something, you can check this on and you can see it again. But as I said, once you delete it, it is still there, as there is a corporate account, so it cannot be deleted completely by you as a teacher or the head of the department. Now after setting this general, the main part we are talking about is Meet. What you need to do is you have to go and visible to the student, you have to keep it on. If you don't keep this on, then the student won't be able to see it. So what I do is I click on generate, and it will generate a link for a Meet. Once it is generated, you can see this is automatically on. If I say off, now this is generated and now you can copy and paste, but then it will be difficult for a student to every time copy this code, paste it, remember it, where did they keep it and all these things. So keep it on so that it will be visible to them. Now after doing this, we'll stop over here. We are not going to the marking part. We did not do anything yet on the examination assessment assignment. So after you set up all these things, you just come and hit over here as a save button. Once I click on this, this class has been saved. I hope I'm clear up till here. Now, if I go back to all classes, and now I'm going on to 11b. Can you see this meet link is activated and this camera is over here? So now what you are seeing over here, the student is seeing the same thing. I will show you the other tutorial how the students will be seeing it. So this link we generated and we activated. Now we can have a live classroom. Now after this particular thing is done, I'm going back to the classroom. I set up my classroom. Now my class is set up for the live session. But then how do I know, or how does the student know what time the classes are there, or what subject is there, which period it is there, from what time to what time? All these questions are there. So I'm going back to my timetable. This is the timetable. What time the class is there, at what day the class is there, in which period the class is there, and all these details are mentioned over here. So now what I need to do is I need to have the same timetable on my Google. So it's again a one-time process unless until the timetable changes. So if the timetable changes, you have to come back and change your timetable. Now remember one thing, student will be looking into this particular timetable of yours. So if you don't put this part, or if you don't complete this part, it is going to be really difficult for most of the parent to log in, go to the timetable, search for the classes, meet, and all these things. It will be a real mess. So I want you to sync your timetable with your Google Calendar. So now what I do is, Meet we have already seen. I'm moving on to a Google Calendar now. Once I'm on a Google Calendar, it will take you to another page, and here this is your calendar. As today is 14th, so it is highlighted as 14th. Let's say I'm starting from 17th, which is Sunday. So I click on 17th, and now this is 17th. In timetable 17th, what do I have on Sunday? I don't have anything on Sunday, so I'm not doing anything. Now I'll just create a random timetable so that I can show you people. Let's say for example I have a class which start from 9:30 to 10:10, and the subject is, let's say, English, or rather ICT, for grade 10A. I'll copy the same thing and I paste it over here. I'll be having another class at 10:20 to 10:50. This will be for B. And then my third class starts from 11 to 11:40. These are just the examples I'm showing you. And let's say I'll be having 11A, and then from 11:50 I have a class till 12:30. Now let's say this is my Sunday schedule. Now every Sunday I'll be having the same schedule unless until your timetable changes here. So now what I do is I'm going to create this timetable in my Google. So 17th, randomly I click anywhere, it gives me a title. Now what is the title? This is the ICT class for 10A. 17th of May, what time it starts? It starts at 9:30 and it ends at 10:10. So I will go here, select it, and select the time, whatever the ready-made times are over here. So I said 9:30 is the start time. Now 10:10 is not there, so I select the 10 and manually I can go and type here 10:10. So now I selected 9:30 to 10:10 on 17th of May. Now don't forget, we have already activated the Meet. In calendar you have to say add Google Meet video conferencing. Click on this. If you don't click on this, your live classroom is not on. So now once you click on this, you can see join with Google Meet. Student will be able to see that. Now once you have this particular thing, I named the class, I selected the date, the start time, end time. Guest, don't click over here. Join with the Google Meet. Location, don't add any location. Description, if you want to write any description, then you can write over here whatever description you want. Click on a more option, and now I can see something over here. Now if you see over here, this is the people who will be joining, or which class you want to assign this meet for. This meet has to be assigned for somebody. So now it is for 10A. So now I go and select 10A from here. So now this class is assigned for 10A. As I said, if you want to write the description and all these things. So now coming back, as I said, this is my Sunday schedule and it will be repeated every Sunday. So now you can go and select over here weekly on Sunday. So this timetable you don't have to create every week. Once it is done, this is done. Every week at this particular time this class is there. In case if it changes, then well, you cannot do that. Then you say don't repeat. You can go and you have other option, daily classes. If anybody has a class which is daily class, you can go and select daily class. Well, I'm ignoring rest of the things. So I said weekly on Sunday, and I save this class. Once you save this class, you can see ICT grade 10 9:30 a.m. This class is there. In case if you need to edit this one, just click over here. You get the edit button, you have a delete button, you have a email button, and so on so on. So I go and click on edit button. If you need to make any changes in this, go ahead and do the changes and then save again. So you will get this back over here. Now this is my first class, which is 9:30 to 10:10. Now I need to decide my second class, which is 10:20 till 10:50. Again, randomly click anywhere, add the title. So now I take this title over here, which is ICT grade 10B, put the title over here, and I'm going to select the time over here, which is 10:20 to 10:50. Am I right? Yes, 10:20 to 10:50. So once I set this, same thing, activate the video conferencing. Click over here, activate it, and you go and select now 10B. So this class is for 10B. Now if you want to conduct both the classes together, then you can go and select both of them, but well, each class has been set separately, so that option will not come for you as of now. Apart from that, we'll see next if there is any other option. Under more option, if you need to add anything else, I don't see. As I said, repeat, or I said weekly on Sunday, and I save this one. So now if you see, it is in different color and the class timing is 10:20. So now like this, you have to go and assign all your classes. Let me do this too quickly. So I said this is going to be my 11, and the timing will be 11 to 11:40. So 11 to 11:40. This should be AM. So 11:30. I'll go at 11:40 AM. Just keep an eye on this. It should not be AM or PM changed, otherwise you might have an issue. Add with meet, and then this is going to be 11A, and I said save. I have the third one added, and then I go and add the last one, which is 11B, supposed to be B, and this timing is 11:50 to 12. So I go and select 11:50 to 12:30, and then add Google Meet video conferencing. Go ahead and select the class. Now I have set 4 of my things on the Google Calendar. Now this is for 17th, then you have 18th. So now this you will be taking it from here, days Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the way it is, and then you will be synchronizing this over here day wise. Now once you do this particular thing, your classes are set, your meet is set, your calendar is set. Now coming to class drive folder, sometime it happens you want to show something to them live, but then you don't have a ebook or you don't have a PowerPoint or something. So in case you have to plan your class ahead, so whatever you will be teaching on Sunday, you will be arranging all the documents needed for that particular class. It can be a book in the PDF format, it can be a PowerPoint presentation, if there is any audio files, XYZ, whatever you have. So once you click on a drive, remember one thing, each class have their own drive. Now the data on that particular drive is available only to the people or the students in that particular class. So if I'm talking about this is for 11B, 11B can have an access to only the drive of 11B. They cannot go to the drive of somebody else and get something. Now this option is available for them also, so they can put some data on this particular drive. Students and teachers both can share that data from a Google Drive, but only for 11B. 11A or grade 10A or any other class cannot come to this particular drive, take the file, delete the file, put the file, nothing can be done over here. It is only for 11B teacher and 11B student. Fine. So put all your presentation files, PDF files, document files, whatever you need during the classroom over here, so that you can access all of them live and student can have a look at it. You can share your screen to them. Now I'm done with this part. So now coming back to the people, what is there under people? All the teachers who teach grade 11B will be shown under the teachers category. So if I say view all, you will be seeing all the teachers who are teaching this particular class. Now certain things are there. If you want to remove a teacher, well, that's your call. Click. Okay, I can't remove myself, so click and you can remove the teacher. But I don't see there is a point doing this, because this has been created for your communication. So in case if I need to communicate to, let's say, Iqra Zafar or Mr. Khurshid or Magdi Hilal or whatsoever in this class, I can just go and send an email to them, and they should be receiving an email and they can respond me back over here. This is my class, so I can only leave the class. I cannot do anything over here. One more thing, there is one thing, what is Emirates Private School. Now this is a admin account. All classes starting from KG till grade 12, British American and MOE, will have this account. And remember one thing, this account cannot be removed. You can only send an email to this particular account. Moreover, down the line, if anybody wants to see a live classroom of yours, they will be using this particular account to logging in and joining your class live. So suppose tomorrow Miss Azza wants to join your class, or Miss Mamuna wants to join your class, they will be using something like this to join your class, and they will be observing your classroom. So this is the teachers part. Once you scroll down, you will be having a student part. Now if you see, these are the students of 11B. Now first and foremost, student cannot be removed. Nobody has the authority to remove a student from a class except the student council. So once you go over here, you can just email the student. That's all you can do as of now. Fine. So this is the people's part. Marks, we will do another video once we come up with the assignment, assessment and all, then we'll talk about the marks. So this is the basic thing what you need to do to set up your own Google Classroom. I hope this information was enough for you to start with your class. As I said once again, check your email. A document will be sent which will have your username and a password and the instruction. There are certain rules and regulations which has been set by EPS. So go ahead and read those rules very properly, because as I said, this is your class, so managing this class is your responsibility. Whatever happens will be recorded. How it will be recorded, that is the last thing I will be showing you. Now let's see, I click on 11b. Now if you know, I have already created a class and I have already created a meeting also. So now as a teacher, what you will be doing, how you will be starting a class, like as normal, you come back, you go to your website, log in over here, Google Classroom, you come to your classroom, and once you have set up your classroom, you will be having this link. So simply go and click on this link. Once you click on this link, it will take you to a Google Meet. Now something wrong with your camera, I don't have a camera here, so I'm closing it. But remember one thing, your camera has to be on. Now once you click on that, you come over here, you click on join. Microphone has to be on, camera has to be on. Once you click, you have to join. Once you join, this is your classroom. You don't have to do all these things, because as I said, students also have this, so they will click and they will just join. So now I'm just closing this. Now this is what your classroom is. So you have a microphone, you can disconnect this, you can turn the video off, but as again, read the instruction, everything is mentioned. Remember one thing, the moment your class start, you have to go here and there is an option, record meeting. You have to record the meeting. Please, I'm telling all the teachers, down the line, don't say I forgot today's recording. The first thing what you should be doing is, the moment you start your class, it has to record the meeting. We need the evidences, because tomorrow in case if anything goes wrong, these are the evidences which will help you. So anything what you are doing, first thing is you will start recording. Accept. Now this is the consent that you have to take it for the students, but then as we have sent a separate email to them and this consent has been taken. Accept. Now recording will start soon. Now as soon as you continue with your class and when the student comes in, now this is already recording. If you can see over here, this is recording. Since this place, your audio, your video, your screen, everything is recorded. Am I understood up till here? Now once you do this, how to end the class? Please, all the teachers, don't leave the class without student leaving the class. Remember one thing, once you leave the class, meeting is still on, because they joined as this link is here. So they can join the link and they can have a student chat. So now you have to make sure you wait for all the student to leave. Once all the student leave the chat, then you will be going and disconnecting this conference. Okay, so even if one student is there, please don't leave the chat. Make sure you tell the students to leave now. Once they leave, then you disconnect it and then return to home screen. So this is where you are in. This was a Google live classroom, or you can say it's a digital classroom. Well, in this tutorial, the last thing which I need to show you is how do we collect an attendance for the students who are joining the classes. Now as we have seen, our classes on a different time, so you will be creating an attendance sheet for a different classes on a different time. So first thing what I do is, as we were working on 11b, so I'll go to 11b first, and then I'll go on to the classwork and let's click on a Google Calendar, because we have already assigned the classes over here, so we know what are the timings. So I go on 17th, and if I see for 11b, the class start at 12:50 p.m. So now I will be creating an attendance for 12b. So in classes, under classwork, we go and click on create, and then we create a question. We are not going to ask a question to them, but this is what we are going to use in attendance. So here I type the text attendance, and in the instruction, are you present today? Now, if you see in this particular place over here, it says short answers. Just click over here and click multiple choices. Once you select multiple choice, you get the option here as option 1. Click on option 1 and add yes. We are not going to add another option as no, because in case if the student doesn't hand in this attendance, it is understood as no. So we'll just keep the option yes. Now after you set this, as I said, you can set this for the whole week at one day, and then as and when the student will come, they will keep doing the attendance. So this is for 11B, all student points. Go and click select unmarked, and then under the due date, click and I select the date on 17th. Time, this class start at 12:50, so 12:50 p.m. Now under the topic, now as of now we don't have the topic, so what you need to do is you need to create a topic. So if I click over here, it says create a topic. So I create a topic, name it as attendance, and student can see the class summary, check it off. Now after you do this particular thing, just click on ask. Once you say ask, your attendance has been created. Your attendance has been created, which is due on 17th of May 12:50. Now as I said, you can go and keep creating this attendance for a daily basis. So under attendance, and this is for 18. Go and say ask. Now if you see, your attendance has been created for 18th, for 17th. Now this is not going to go to the student immediately, it will go to the students once they log in. Now I'll show you how the student is going to see this. This will not show, so I'll do one thing, I'll create one for the current time so that you can see how the student is going to see. Now I click on a question. This is just to show you how the student view will be. Now this is the test attendance for today. Now let's go and log in as a student and let's see how the student will see it. Once you see the student over here, you can see, are you present? This is at 5:38. Now if your answer is yes, if you are not logged in, for sure you are not going to check it on. If your answer is yes, just select this and say hand in. The student has to hand in, otherwise the attendance is not done. So once you say hand in, that means the student has been present and the person has said the answer yes, and there is a number 1. Right? Now as a student, I'm like, now if you see the other two attendance, you see the upcoming attendance. It is on Sunday and then on Monday and so on will be there. So now I log out from here and then let's see how the teacher is going to see this. So I go back to the teacher's login. let's go to your classroom, and you see new move post to top. I said got it. Now if you see over here, this is the current one which has been done. Are you present today, which is of 5:38, and it says one hand in because only one student has hand in, so it comes one hand in assigned to 12 people. So in high school grade 11B there are 12 students, one has checked in, and rest of them are not done. So I mean, like, again, it depends on you. You want to edit them, delete them, change them, whatever you want to do it. But this is how you take the attendance. I hope this is clear up till here. In case if still anybody has a question, again, you have my number, WhatsApp, email. Do let me know. Thank you very much. Good luck.